Yes.
Okay, so
I think we can begin.
All right, so can we get a motion to adopt the agenda with the 3 additions that were mentioned by Co-President Tsai and Council Member Spencer and by myself?
I, Co-President Green, I put up the motion to adopt.
Thank you. It was moved by Council Member Spencer. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Council Member Jewett. Okay, so it was motioned or moved by Council Member Spencer, seconded by Council Member Jewett. Can I get a roll call on that, please?
Okay, we are starting.
Dalton.
We are starting the roll call vote for the motion to adopt the agenda with the 3 new added items. Miss Amy Meng Tsai,
yes.
Mr. Craig Spencer,
Yes.
Mr. Shamel Lawrence, Miss Christy Angel,
Yes.
Miss Christy Montalban, yes. Mr. Angel Morales,
Yes.
Ms. Joanne Jones,
Yes.
Miss Aisha Husbands,
Yes.
Miss Celia Green,
Yes.
Miss Constance Asidju, Miss Patricia Jewett.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just circling back to Mr. Lawrence. Okay. He must have stepped away, so we have 10 votes for yes, and the motion has passed.
Thank you, Recording Secretary Montalban, for the roll call. We will begin with the first item that I brought up. It will be the discussion and update around what was Family and Community Engagement Office has brought to our attention is the scheduling of the Chancellor Town Hall for the Citywide Council for District 75. The anticipated scheduling date is for Monday, October 17th. The proposed time is 6:30 to 7:30. And it will be in person. We are proposing for a live stream with learning times to support the virtual component as long as with the, along with the in-person. For this town hall, we have Jose Gonzalez from Face here to give the details. And we will need a quick response in confirming this date, time, and the details. Jose, are you on the line? Can you give us the details, please?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Council Member. So I think basically it was basically what the President also mentioned over here. October 17, Monday, is the date that has been set for or having proposed and given to T75 for the Chancellor's Town Hall. And as soon as the council agree upon this date, this is the only thing that we're waiting so we can move forward with the planning and the processing. As soon as we got the resource and more information and any other question that you have pertaining to the Chancellor's Town Hall, then I will forward those answers to the president and the co-president also, so they can share with the council. As I stated before, this is the only thing that we are waiting for the council to agree upon. If everything is okay, then we're gonna move ahead with the date. And there's other items that we are also we're gonna be discussing as per the council request also, but those details we're gonna be discussing with our leadership, making sure that that all of the elements that you need for that town halls also is set. And I do not have any other update, just waiting for that date to be in agreement with the council. I yield back to the president.
Thank you, Jose. Any council members have questions or thoughts? Okay, I think we will have council member Greg Spencer go first, and then we will have council member Aisha Husbands, and then co-president Celia Green.
Thank you, co-president. We have just it was June holidays in between time. So how are we going to do? How's we're going to do that support to the questions that we need to choose or to well, yeah, that's a new question.
So as I understand, there's a different layers of support and also process. And one of those process also we are included on that, but there's a section that is on the briefing that is created to be given to the chancellor and prior to the town hall. And I think that there's a team that we'll start gathering, collecting information from the district's office and from the D75 community, just making sure that every detail is reflected on that briefing. So the conversation also, the chancellor can have like a broader understanding of, or many details, specifically in D75 community. But I spoke, I was tasked to reach out D75 specifically I'm having a communication with Amy with the date and the time, but other details that included the briefing, which is the most back and forth tedious process, I think will be is another team that is in charge of that. When we're talking about the preparation of the town hall in terms of outreach, interpretations, translations, and I know that the council is requesting or proposing also a location in time also for around the town hall. Those are things that as soon as the council agree upon the date, the selected date, then we're gonna move forward with that. And in the meantime, also we're gonna have back and forth conversation with the council in terms of questions that needed to be answered, needed to be asked from the council member to the chancellor at that time. I'm a little bit familiar with the process, seeing other colleagues in other districts before doing and prepping for town hall for the chancellor and CEC, but the process specifically include the logistic, location, interpretation, outreach, but also this document that is the briefing that is collected with all of the information that is needed for the chancellor to be on that town hall. And also in that process, the council is also included. But for that, as soon as we, we have the date and the council agree upon, then we're gonna be starting that conversation with the council and other key component in the office.
Thank you. Councilmember Husbands, your hand is up, please. Hands up, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My question was addressed. It was about the proposed time and location, but Mr. Gonzalez addressed my question.
Just to let you know, for council members, we are proposing for 75 at 94 school, which is at Spruce Street, that it's kind of convenient to transportation accessibility as well as all the other 5 boroughs. So that's on the table for in person. We've done in that space with the Chancellor Town Hall 2 terms ago in person, just to give you a little reference. And it is an hour that we are trying to commit from 6:30 to 7:30. Co-President Celia Green.
I'm sorry, what was the location?
What was the date again? Was it September 17th or October 17th?
October 17th. I hope 17th is too close.
All right, so October 17th. All right. Okay, thank you.
Any other council members in person or virtually have any questions or thoughts? Don't see any hands. Celia, your hand's still up.
No, that's from the.
Okay, thank you. Yes, we're gonna take a vote on this because we need to confirm this with phase so that we can start beginning the logistics.
Okay. And it's a Monday, right?
Yes, Monday, October 17th, proposed for 6:30 to 7:30. It will be in person with a component of live streaming it. We need a council member to motion. Councilmember Constance Asudu.
I second it.
This headset, I'm sorry, can you hear me? Yeah, now you can hear me, okay. I just wanted to know, you gave a location of Spruce Street, is that the only location being proposed for this?
We checked with the district as to the school sites. All of our District 75 schools are majority in
Thank you
the
so much.
Manhattan borough is on the east side and west side. They are very difficult to transportation. And a lot of the substations do not have elevators.
No, I'm well aware of the logistics for the location, I know where it is. What I asked is that the only proposed site for this meeting. So it's,
Do you have a suggestion?
no, I'm just asking, is it only proposed for that site in case there's an issue with the site? That's what I was saying. Is there a consideration for a backup site at this point? In case something, Spruce Street for some reason doesn't work out. That's all I was concerned with.
Sure. You want to consider an alternative? It's weed. Okay, so we will add an amendment to that motion, adding Tweed as the alternative site for location for October 17, 2022 for the Chancellor Town Hall at 6:30 to 7:30 proposed.
Okay. Thank you.
Any else, Councilmember Sudo?
No, that was just my concern, just to make sure we have multiple locations as a possibility in case something goes wrong with the first one. Okay, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to motion that or another council member?
I think, I'll motion it, because Councilmember Jewett already seconded my motion I didn't make, so I'll motion it, that's fine.
Thank you.
I move with the addition of looking into a secondary site in case we have issues with Spruce Street.
Constance Sasudu moves with the motion and Councilmember Patricia Jewett seconds the motion. Let's have roll call, Recording Secretary Christine Montalban. Okay, Councilmember Christie Angel, I see your hand up.
Yes, for the discussion portion of it. I know that Jose had just mentioned that we needed to solidify the date and then we could double back on the locations if we need to have additional extra ones, just in case, because these two are both in the same place, right? Yeah, so we might need to, I mean, I think we should solidify the date and then go back to maybe locations just so that there's more options than two across the street. I mean, I'm okay to have it downtown, but I think we might need to have additional options that we can check into. Thank you.
Was there another specific site stated as a backup site? I just said a secondary. I didn't propose any location. Yeah, I just said secondary. My motion does not include a second location. That's up for discussion. Motion reread. So, thank you.
The motion is to schedule a Chancellor Town Hall with Citywide Council for District 75 on Monday, October 17th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. with the proposed location being 75M 94 at 397 and secondary locations being considered. Are we ready to vote on that? Okay. Ms. Amy Ming Tsai,
Yes.
Mr. Craig Spencer,
Yes.
Mr. Shamel Lawrence,
Yes.
Ms. Christie Angel,
Yes,
Ms. Christine Montavon, yes. Mr. Angel Morales,
Yes.
Ms. Joanne Jones,
Yes.
Ms. Aisha Husbands.
Yeah.
Ms. Celia Green,
Yes.
Ms. Constance
This
Esposito,
one doesn't work.
and Ms. Patricia Jewett.
Yes.
Okay, I have 11 votes for yes, the motion has passed.
Thank you. And next, we will have discussion from member Craig Spencer.
Unmute yourself, Craig. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Better? Okay. I'll start again. Sorry. So the purpose to add this to the agenda is because I don't believe I'm the only one that has contact with the controller's office. I was moved by by the controller's participation in PEP. Was it July or August? One of the two. He's not a voting member, but he spoke eloquently in terms of accountability, something that this council is high on. And like I said, I think it's something that we should invest time in reference to what resources are being used for our community and are they being used the right way, since other parent leaders in the, have looked to do so. I think we should do the same. I'll uplift just briefly in terms of what I discussed with the controller's office. Is just there may be an opportunity to do something legislative wise. I know we have a legislative committee. Maybe that's something that we could collaborate with them on in terms of more notoriety for this council and for our community. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, but like I said, I want to have this on our purview because I think it's beneficial toward us and for everybody here in our community, and to pull whoever's been talking that way isn't side conversations. It can probably just be one whole, and tie that quilt together and support this council. So that's what I'm putting out there. It's for to put it out there so we could collaborate behind the scenes and then bring it back at another meeting in terms of this is how we'd like to go forward with based on our discussions. Thank you. Thank you for the time, Co-Presidents.
Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. Just wanted to update the council members here on District 75. We do have a guest speaker coming for our next month. Controller Brad Lander will be joining us next month in a meeting. So just to let you know, Co-President Celia Green.
Okay, thank you, Co-President Tsai. Is there any other further discussion on what Councilmember Spencer has presented? I do agree with him on being at Brooklyn Light, and Mr. Lander previously being from City Council. He was one of the few council members who served that knew exactly where his schools were, what schools had D75s in them, and understood what D75 was. That you do not run across elected officials very often that do have a notion of anything about it. It would be great to have. But I'm digressing, so I'm asking if any other council member has any input on this issue. So can we do a vote on this? Not a roll call, but just a vote on to if everyone agrees, council members only, with Mr. Spencer's proposal. Can I get a show if you can use the raise hand features, please, so we can do it for the recording? So council members only. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so 8 members in favor of. 9. Motion has passed. Thank you, council members. All right, and last but not least, I am asking for a vote on having a separate meeting with the Division of Specialized Instruction and Student Support, meaning a meeting of just our council, CCD 75 members, and the Division of Specialized Instruction and Support. Usually they group us with CCSE, and I'm not opposed to that, but because there are at least a minimum of 11 members here and a minimum of 11 members on their council as well. Plus all of the people, it makes it difficult to have questions answered in the short space of time that we do have to meet. So I would really like to propose that we do the meeting separate so that some of the questions from the D75 council can be answered, and some of the issues that are happening in 75 can, you know, have a broader discussion period. I see Ms. Jones' hands up, so I'm going to ask. I'm trying to vote. Councilmember Jones, did you have your hand up? Did you
No,
want to say
sorry, that
something
was
on the
from
subject?
previously. That was from before. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
No problem. All right, does anyone have any objection? Does anyone have any input?
I usually hands up.
Okay. Ms. Hud.
Yes, I'm sorry. There was noise in my background. I didn't hear
Please go ahead, Councilmember Husband.
who is this proposed meeting with?
Is the meeting with the Office of Specialized Instruction, the Division of Same, but it was in concert with another council. I'm just proposing that at some point we have one that's just D75 and the Division of Specialized Instruction and Student Support,
Okay, thank you.
so that we can get more answers and more questions. And so is there any other input and or questions on the subject? Go ahead, Mr. Lawrence, Councilmember Lawrence.
No, I was gonna make the motion if you're ready for it.
Oh, please do.
All right, I move that, Citywide Council have a standalone meeting with the Special Education Office and Christine Foley Office.
I second it.
Thank you. So it's moved by Councilmember Lawrence and seconded by Councilmember Jewett. And I'm going to ask for a roll call on that. Yes, Division of Specialized Instruction and Students.
Okay, we are voting now. We are voting now on the motion for the Citywide Council of District 75 to have an independent meeting with DISS Office and Christina Cody. And
Yes.
you may sign?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Pre-
Mr. Lawrence?
Yeah, we're not hearing you. You're muted.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Mr. Lawrence?
yes,
Ms. Christy Angel?
Yes,
Ms. Christy Montalban? Yes. Mr. Angel Morales?
Yes.
Ms. Joanne Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Aisha Husbands?
Yes,
Ms. Celia Green?
Yes.
Ms. Constance Theodore?
Yes.
And Ms. Patricia Jewett.
Yes.
Okay, we have 11 votes for yes, the motion has passed.
Thank you, council members. So right now we're going to go to. We're going to ask for the appointment of a timekeeper, or any of the council members volunteer to Be the timekeeper this evening?
Only virtual, probably.
Hmm?
Virtual. Everybody virtual.
Could be someone virtual or otherwise. That's Miss Angel? Okay, thank you, Miss Angel. All right, so on that note, we are going to ask for a moment of silence for all those who have lost, or we have lost, or that anyone has lost. Recently, there's been a lot of loss. And we're asking for you to bear with us for a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, thank you, everyone. First, we're gonna go straight into unfinished business, and we will have updates on the committees. The first committee update is from the Bylaws Committee. So we're gonna turn that over to Ms. Constance.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The update for the Bylaws Committee, there will be a Bylaws meeting on Monday, September 26th, between the hours of 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. And at the end, at the following calendar meeting, we will bring Article 10 revised for presentation. That's the end of the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Asiju. Next up is an update from the hiring committee. So it goes back to Councilmember Jewett and Councilmember Asiju, who are co-chairs.
Councilmember Jewett, Co-Chair Jewett, do you want to take this update?
Okay. So basically, I'm just gonna do a brief recap because I am out in the street, Hanson Place in Brooklyn. So basically, we had 2 dates where we interviewed potential AAs, and it was interesting. And we narrowed it down to a couple, and we will be continuing the process. We'll be talking on what our next steps are, right, Constance? Is that about it?
Councilmember Jewett, definitely. Yes, our next steps, we will be doing an additional 2 interviews, and then we will move
Right.
the candidates that have been selected by the council members to the second
And
round.
we're,
Both whether
work-
interviews or whether or not we're going to give them a task to perform, the council members have to decide.
right.
And the proposal is that we actually have an in-person interview with the candidates when we
Exactly.
move to the next round. So, since
But
we've done
we also
everything
had-
virtually with the
Right,
candidates
but
so
we
far.
also have one candidate, right, that we're working on rescheduling.
I'm sorry, I can't hear her. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me? We're working on rescheduling
Yeah.
one candidate, right? Okay. I think that's basically it, guys.
Thank you, Councilmember Asiju and Councilmember Jewett. Next up is an update on our ad hoc committee on election communication. And that goes to Mr. Craig Spencer, Councilmember Spencer.
Thank you, Co-President Green. Before you ladies got here, I got into, and I'm happy to go over it again. The The first committee meeting was August 30th. I'm just going to share my screen in terms of, because I wasn't able to do it at that time, so I can, when I find it, just give me a second here. Anyway, wasn't coming up, but it was basically a meet and greet in terms of introducing what the ad hoc committee is for, um, a venue for um, not phase some we let us know about things that should happen to the lens of members of the community, work with other leaders in the community to identify. Also, with the new wrinkle of having District 75 representation on CEC members, CEC number of councils, it's an opportunity to also collaborate and spread our footprint and spread it like butter over bread on bread, spread our footprint and increase equity for our community. So then I put it in the chat. The next meeting will be on this coming Monday, the 19th, virtually from 6:30 to 8:30. I want to uplift and my thanks to Co-President Tsai and Co-President Green for communicating with District 75 management in terms of identifying parts of our community that I think we would look to foster this work and foster and spread our representation and galvanize parents. So thank you for that, and there'll be more to come. Thank you for your time.
Again. Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. Next is an update from the Committee on Busing, and that goes to Councilmember Lawrence. Councilmember Lawrence?
Yeah, thank you. We had our first meeting on August the 25th, which was attended. We had some special guests there from members from the PEP that explained what PEP was, how the busing committee, how the busing contracts is voted on. Our next meeting will be on September the 20th. And we continue to work with OPT closely, revolving around the issue of a lot of kids did not receive busing on the first day of school. Some kids did not still have busing. Working with OPT to resolve that in the district. Also, starting October, as I had stated, I will, once I'm able, I will be going out teaming up with a inspector from OPT to do random inspection of buses. Thank you.
Councilmember Lawrence, do you have a time for the meeting on the 20th?
Yeah, all the meetings are the same time. It's 6 to 8. A flyer went out, we have the whole calendar went out for the busing committee.
Thank you, Councilmember Lawrence. Next up, is any additional unfinished business? So is there anything that anyone wants to mention or go back to, or you haven't finished? Oh, okay, Councilmember Lawrence, go ahead. You have your hand up.
Yeah, just a quick update on the curriculum committee. Me and Ms. Jewett, we had our first meeting on this past Monday on the 12th. We are structuring that different. What we did this week was we had a principal from the Bronx 596 that presented on the curriculum in his school. Every month we will have a principal joining to present the curriculum in D75. So we have opened it up to principals, student, and educators ND 75. And I just want to give a thanks to Mr. Gonzalez for helping make the transition, everything smooth for all those meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Lawrence.
I
Yes,
also want
go
to take the
ahead,
opportunity
Councilmember Smith.
to uplift
Take the
the
opportunity,
committee that I co-chair with,
committee that I co-chair with,
Councilmember Asidu. The capacity and utilization,
the
next
capacity
committee meeting will be Thursday, the 22nd of September, virtually from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m.
And
And similar to what's been done with the Election Communication Committee, it's a collaboration. It's a way to not have it heavy top down. ODP tells us what the deficits are. It's a chance for our community to speak up and see let us know what they see in the streets and how we need to best represent them in new spaces. It's also a venue to bring in people from outside our community so we can work with them to see if there's new space.
And of
And of
course,
course, we've discussed this in different venues in terms of inclusion to demystify this. So
September
September
22nd,
22nd,
next
next
Thursday,
Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. is the next virtual committee meeting.
I left
I
the
left the information in the
I
chat.
left
I left
forms in the
forms
chat.
in the chat in terms of if you want to sign up for each committee. And I thank you for the time.
Sign up for the committee. I thank you for the time.
Does any other council member have any input, question, comment?
Do you want to talk about concession? Transition. Oh.
Yes, sorry, I had mentioned it earlier, but now that more people have joined, I will go ahead and mention it again. Our first transition committee will be this Friday at 6 p.m. Virtually, and it will be just a introduction meeting. So if anyone is interested in joining the transition committee, please come to the meeting. We can get all your contact info and we can discuss the most important issues that we would like to maybe have presentations on this year. Looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel. So before we go on to new business, we are. Oh, her hand, sorry. Forgive me, Councilmember Jones. You had your hand up. Please go ahead.
So I have a quick question to the chair of the busing committee. You mentioned that you are going to be doing some random on-site bus getting on the bus to assess what's happening on the bus. The reason why I'm asking is because I want to know what exactly that looks like, because I have a situation where my son's bus is in excess of 20 people and 3 paras. So it's an overcrowded bus. And I've contacted OPT and his busing coordinator. So what I'm basically asking is, what would your, probing the bus look like? What is the end goal for that? Would it be something like this situation? If you see that it's an overcrowded bus, what would be the next step to do that? So I can use that for my own reference.
Okay, so what's happening, I'm creating a checklist. Before safety on our 2 years ago, when our committee chair, former council, Ms. Gruber had created a checklist. So I'm creating a checklist based off of what she have done for busing. So yes, overcrowdment, heat, air condition, all those things, I will be looking for when I go onto the bus. Also the inspector will be looking for the bus driver and matron. Are they certifications up to date? Because we did get word that there was a bus that was caught where the bus driver license was suspended. So all these different things would be looked into. And if you send an email about your child situation, I'd be more than happy to help you with that to get it resolved.
Okay, great. And one last thing, I know this may be taking up too much time, but real quick, say for instance, there is some sort of strife on the bus, and then, you know, parents arbitrarily come on the bus and address the person that's either tantalizing their child. How would that be handled? Is that part of your checklist?
Are you talking about like some kind of a bruise or something to the child from the bus matron or driver?
Right. Well, say for instance, there's two kids on the bus.
Mhm.
One child is bothering the other, and the parents will get on. Once the bus comes, the parents get on the bus. They look at the kid and they start basically antagonizing the kid. If you don't leave my son alone, you're going to be dealt with. So what I'm saying is, there's a threat of violence from parents when there's a certain situation. I'll just say, for lack of a better word, bullying on the bus.
Mhm. So that's a conversation that could work underneath me, but that will fall under safety too. Because first to get go, drivers should not be letting parents onto the bus to talk to other kids. That's a violation alone. So that would be something that myself, my busing committee and safety committee could work together with the council and the district to make sure that's not happening, because no parent should be getting on the bus.
Okay, thank you. This has been helpful. So I'll send you the email. Thank you.
Yes. Mhm.
Thank you, Councilmember Lawrence. And we're gonna move on to new business. And first on new business is an
You want to relieve the interpreters? Ask them if anybody in the room. Ask the interpreters if there's.
Oh, the
anybody.
interpreters, I'm sorry. Okay. So at this point, we're gonna ask the interpreters services in the rooms.
This is the interpreter speaking. This is the Mandarin interpreter. There's no participant in the room right now.
Thank you.
This is Spanish interpreter. I have just asked on the Spanish line. There seems to be no participation as well. No comments. on the
Okay,
Spanish line.
thank you. All right, so thank you for all coming, interpreters. And at this time, we're gonna release you because it is 7:49 p.m. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at our next meeting.
Thank you very much. Interpreters will now disconnect.
All right, next we're going on to an update for the District 75 District Leadership Team, which was held, I believe it was like 2 days before we started. There was not much at this meeting. There were a couple of updates. However, since school has not started, there's not a lot to tell as yet. We were supposed to have, as all DLTs, all district leadership teams, are to have their elections for their chair, for the secretary, and so on. Someone put forth a motion to postpone it until October. So the October meeting is when that election will happen, and there'll be more from there. We'll be able to tell you who's who. District leadership team, although it is, people can't necessarily just join and be members of the district leadership team. It is able for you to observe. And at this point, district leadership team is meeting virtually. And because it is not covered under the state law, the district leadership teams are not. The school leadership teams are. So actually, everyone's school leadership team at this point should be meeting in person. From this point forward, because there was no extension of the suspension for open meetings law. So school leadership teams are covered under open meetings law and should be meeting again in person and stuff. However, district leadership teams can meet virtually, and you can request to be added to their list. So that you could, not just District 75 social leadership team, you can be added to the list of any leadership team 1 through 32. And just listen here and learn about the issues that are going on in your district, and listen to what is being proposed in the comprehensive educational plan, the district comprehensive education. All right, thank you. We're going to move on to the next update. And that should be an update on the information sessions with the superintendent, information sessions with the G75 Council. So I'm going to let Ms. Co-President, Ms. McSai.
I'm going to yield to other council members since due to time, we're catching up. So any members on the council who would like to share, who were in attendance for Superintendent Kettler's info session on Monday, as well as Christine Fode's office yesterday in collaboration with CCSE? Yes, your hand's up in person, Councilmember Spencer.
Thank you, Co-President Sai. The stark difference of just in terms of stylistic, I thought that I was surprised with the meeting on Monday. It was like they did most of the talking and then they asked us specific questions. I thought it was going to be a little bit more free. Like what happened with Christina Fode's call seemed a little bit more freer. Even though it's hard to be that with both our council and DCSC, but that's just a stylistic thing that I noticed. I'm grateful for Kettler and his team just looking to collaborate with us more. Despite that dynamic, I know it's still a good, there's still a foot in the door. There's still an avenue of communication and collaboration. And it was, I think inclusion was a big theme. Well, not a big theme. It was a noticeable theme in both meetings, actually. I was at work for both meetings, so I didn't take a lot of notes, but there's some clarity and work to be done in other aspects of the city. I do support Uncle President Tsai and her efforts in inclusion and what she stated, what Co-President Green has stated, and other members from CCSC had stated. It's work that still needs to be done. I'll close off with the reading initiative that was introduced yesterday on Fode's call. I myself personally, only having one child, that wasn't an issue, but I know it's an issue across our community, and I'm glad it was introduced, and I'm looking forward to like what we voted on to we could funnel it down to us, not make it just CCSC heavy, but also make sure that we benefit from that as well. It is the mayor's initiative to make, to have kids read well. So I was grateful to have that information. So thanks for the time.
Thank you. Any other council members would like to share who participated, either one of them or both of them?
No, I was just going to say that although the style may be more interactive with the Division for Specialized Instruction and Student Support, I don't think we gained as much from it, only because you have to share the stage with the 45 or so other people that were on there. And it becomes difficult because you can't get everybody and you can only give but so much time. That's why the suggestion of a separate meeting. And so as Monday, as I see it be, I do agree with you. I would have liked to see it be more interactive. I find that people tend to talk to parents, but talk to parents about what they want to see or what they're projecting or what they're proposing is that there's a lot lost in the sauce when you're only presenting to us what you think is going to happen or what you think is going to fly. I think that we as parents have to advocate more for it to be an equal exchange of ideas. I think we need 75, at least the parents are willing to share and willing to roll up their sleeves and willing to work along collaboratively. I know this council has members that are willing to collaborate with the OE to get stuff done for our communities. So I'm hoping that people will take this not as a slight, but as a keep the doors open and collaborate with us. Thank you, Councilmember Angel. All right, so we're gonna move to the next update, which is from the two committees.
Constance, had her hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Constance, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that since the presentation they were not able to present it in its entirety at the meeting with Christina Folte's office, that there is follow-up that all the council members received the presentation. Okay, so we can look it over, right? Because there were so many questions asked during the commencements of the presentations. So I just want to make sure there's follow-up and we do get those presentations, the slides.
Thank you. We'll definitely look about that tomorrow.
We also wanted to add that the superintendent's with the council mainly on Monday was for an info session. So it was more listening than giving feedback, but I'm sure that he will be offering more of his vision and mission in an October meeting. So he is dedicating a portion of our calendar meeting for October to speak with the community. Co-President Green.
Thank you, Co-President Tsai. And now we're moving to an update from the two committees that will be tabling at District 75's back to school event. And I'm turning it over to co-chairs, Miss Councilmember Angel and Councilmember Spencer.
Treasurer Angel.
I'll be really brief. Just as an update, so far, we will have 2 tables at all of the events. I have put the back to school events flyer in the chat for those of you who need to see the specific dates. Please make sure to register with your parent coordinators. They have sent these emails out or they will be going out within this week. I did receive mine from my school, so I do believe that some of these are already out. It will only be for District 75 students. And we will have a movie playing with, it's Encanto. It will show at 1 o'clock. If you do participate at the different events for the movie, you will need to show the vaccination card. As you do see the dates, we have Brooklyn, September 27th at P72 721K. All of these times will be from 11 to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. In Queens, it will be September 24th in Forest Hills at P233Q. In the Bronx, it will be on October 1st at P188X. In Manhattan, October 8th at P138M. And in Staten Island, October 15th, P25R. So please do make sure that you touch base with your parent coordinators. You will have to fill out a form, send that back to them because that will be your ticket to get in your free supplies for your child for back to school. If you do have any questions regarding that, please do reach out to Sasha English at the district office as they are pointing, they're the point on this, and we are helping them along with the District 75 President's Council. Thank you.
Councilmember Angel, can you repeat the last 2 dates? The one after the Bronx, the last 2?
Yes, 1 second, let me pull that back up. The last 2 dates, Manhattan is Saturday, October 8th, and that's at P138M. And Staten Island is October 15th, P25R. I also want to state, as the outreach committee, we'll be trying to make sure that we sign up as many parents as possible for our listserv so that we can keep you informed about everything that's going on and our social media. I'm going to be putting our website into the chat. If you would please stop by, we have a lot of information there. It's a portal. We have a technology portal that has all of the different aspects that you would need for this school year, in addition to our video hub and things of that nature. So it is very one-stop shop, if you will. So hopefully we'll see you there. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we will see you on those Saturdays that were just mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel. Councilmember Spencer, do you want to add to that?
The only thing that I have to add, I'm honored to be in this space with Treasurer Angel. Is just when this was proposed in July, I just knew that it was just, you know, it's time for us to. If we're not there, then we're not. If out of sight, out of mind. And I'm grateful for Sasha and District 75 Management to give us these tables, these spaces. I encourage all committee chairs to, if you can't be there, provide something to Treasurer Angel, so that way we can have that doled out. You know, have information on your committee there, so you know we give back, so they give back to us. I want to just take this opportunity. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, co-president side. Remember back, back when we used to run the streets, we had those. I think there's a couple pager like explanations from the council. Do we still have that in the office? Maybe we can reproduce that now.
I think Chrissy Angel had updated on some of that stuff. We shared it during the dinner. That the stuff that you were asking about District 75. Oh, the pamphlets? Yeah.
Yes, we do have the pamphlets. We have business cards that.
Yes, we do have the pamphlets. We have business cards that we created to get out, and we also have additional flyers that has all the information that we.
And I think we need to be mindful of. Mind you, I don't want to be a backseat driver because I've been crazy with my work schedule, but I want to work with you guys in terms of other languages and things like that, Spanish, Mandarin, things like that. If you know, if need be, if the council can expense it, but you know, it's always a work in progress, and I'm grateful to be with these ladies. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. Does any other council member have any questions or input? Particular topic before we move on? Seeing none, moving on to the next topic. We will discuss the Office of OPT, the Office of Pupil Transportation, and SCA, the School Construction Authority, and a presentation or possible presentation for the month of November, plus the capital plan hearing, which is going to be proposed for December. So as people may or may not know, the capital plan always has a hearing, usually in the month of December, sometimes it's November, but usually in the month of December. That office, SCA, will contact us to let us know they are scheduling, and they will come and do a presentation on current capital plan issues, current new bills that they've done, and give the status of where the D75 capital plan, you know, in where it comes to capital plan, which D75 are in progress, which things are to be done, which things have been approved, which things have been declined, and why. So that will be for the capital plan hearing. Also, the hearing is really for hopefully principals and or administrators of D75 schools to come and to talk about the things that they would like to see the SCA do for their school. We will be collecting submissions as of probably the end of November, beginning of December, capital plan submissions, but they can only be collected from, again, principals and school administrators within District 75. And hopefully some of them have come out on a regular basis. I know at least 4 or 5 principals that are D75 that come out on a regular basis to lobby for their school to get the repairs done that they need and so forth. So I'm hoping that people will do that. And also I'm hoping that SLT members and PTA members will come out, because although you cannot submit, we cannot take submissions from anyone other than building administration. Because you as people are part of the SLTs, the school leadership teams, this is one of the things you should be discussing at school leadership team. If you feel that the school needs a new bathroom or needs an accessible bathroom or needs a ramp or needs something else, these things can be done through SCA submissions. And although everything is not going to get picked, because there's a unique amount or specific amount of money to do all projects throughout DOE, if there's no selection or no picking, if it is not submitted. So it'd be great for that. Apart from that, I'm going to let my co-president talk about OPT, the Office of Pupil Transportation. Them coming a meeting or having a special meeting.
Yes, thank you, Co-President Green. We understand that this is actually the 5th day of school, beginning of the school year, and we know that every year we have the same issues over and over, and a lot of parents are just exhausted and kind of fed up with a lot of these transportation issues, especially here in District 75, including the many parents that have multiple kids with IEPs that need a bus service. So we understand that the next few weeks will be challenges. So we want to make sure that we get things kind of settled down and see what the plans of the school year will look like for the Office of Pupil Transportation, and as well as the scheduling for after-school programs. And so we are looking forward to schedule for an Office of Pupil Transportation team to come in and speak to the community and possibly hold a special meeting for that, just for that department and for the council to lift up the issues and allow community to voice their concerns and questions. So that will be proposed for the November. September and October are usually the times that, after school programs and the challenges of new routes and changing routes. So November is kind of the better improvement. So we're looking forward to that month.
Thank you, Co-Chair.
I see Councilmember Spencer raising his hand, and then
Councilmember
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Correct.
So go ahead, Councilmember.
Thank you, co-presidents. Yeah, I need to take this opportunity to uplift the co-chair of the Capacity and Utilization Committee, Ms. Constance Acedio. SCA is passion. That's why she's a co-chair. That's my blind spot. And my commitment to Constance is that there's a section in each committee meeting that identifies SCA, that there's maybe it's a subcommittee. We're still kicking that can around, but I want to uplift Constance's efforts and bringing me up to speed and bringing our community up to speed, and also matching your knowledge, Co-President Green. So rest assured, if SCA is a concern, you can the capacity committee when it meets, there's a section for it. We'll be building up toward that. Constance, am I too wrong to say that? Am I good?
You're absolutely.
Just the last thing I'll wrap up is, if you, Co-President Tsai or President Chair Lawrence, so my daughter has 2 hours on the way home, like she works, and it's just across the road. And so, are we collecting what? Well, let me be careful of how I ask this question. Yeah, let me say it like this. How are we quantifying, I
want to uplift
Councilmember
Councilmember
Jones'
Jones and her
challenges?
challenges.
How are we
How are we quantifying and bringing this to OPT? When we do like,
Are we
are
doing
we
it in a
doing it
single
in a single
style, like
style, like
when
when
ODP comes
ODP
to
comes
us
to
and says,
us in
well,
terms of, well,
these are
these are
deficits?
deficits?
Are we, can we
Can we
use
use
some,
some
some similar
similar
approach
approach
where
where
we go to
go to
OPT and say,
OPT
hey,
and say, hey,
we have
we have
these
these
many
many
violations in
violations
this part of
in this part of
in this part of the
this part of
city
the
or what
city
have
or
you?
what
How
have you?
we
How
are
we
identifying,
how we
quantifying
quantifying that?
that.
Thank you for your question. Well, as a former chair of the busing committee, I would say, there's a lot of ups and downs on improvements, and we need to know, and there's a lot of changes in the team members at OPT. So we definitely have a plenty of testimonials from families of District 75 that are having issues, especially in the last 5 days between CCSE and this council. We've collected a lot of email of issues. But I'll yield to Chair Lawrence, who's currently for the busing committee, so giving him opportunity to speak. Go ahead, Councilmember Lawrence.
Yeah, two questions. I heard you just say that you receive email for busing complaint. I have not received them. If you could forward them to me, or I could do what I do as that committee chair. Only one I did receive was from special education, Heather, who's not a member of this council. She sent me a problem, but I have not received nothing from the council email. My second thing is this meeting in November. Is this something that you guys agreed on, or we voting on it tonight? Therefore, I could start working on it as the committee of the chair of busing to make sure that that's in place. So are we voting on that tonight and a date? Do we want to use the date that we have scheduled for the busing committee already instead of planning for a special meeting? Those are my questions. Thank you.
Can I answer this November for OPT? Sorry, not for November. Because a lot of times OPT has to let you know their availability. So we're still in the works with that. I'm correct, right? Maybe we're still in the works with.
Yeah. Can you loop me in on that conversation as the chair of the bus?
We're still in the works. Trying to.
No, I'm saying loop me in on the conversation. Yeah.
So as soon as we will put you on the email chain, so that you will be in the loop, and we'll figure out what date works best for OPT and for the council together.
Yes,
Yes,
and they need
some
some time
because right now it's the early high season of issues, so they want to make sure that they're foot on the ground with those complaint numbers, and so we will loop it in. In regards to your first question, I could forward you those emails that were sent to the council email address to you, so you can follow up. I immediately sent it and forwarded to OPT and the superintendent office so that it can be addressed immediately. A lot of them was just parents that did not get a route, did not get a bus pair, didn't have a bus pair, wasn't picked up at all. Just a lot of immediate issues. So that was just immediately forward to them, and they were sent all hours of the day. So I will forward you all of them that were sent through this council, as well as the ones that were CC'd with the Citywide Council for Special Education.
Yeah, I would just ask respectfully moving forward. I think that when they involve the different committees, that the committee chairs should be on these emails, because this is the committee, even though it's coming to the council. I think that will help create our reports. So I think that that's one thing that needs to be clear, that all committees chairs be included in the respective email to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence, and we will bear that in mind in the future and make sure that you are always in the email that is coming in or that is going out when it comes to busing. Okay, somebody had their hand up for a second. All right. We're gonna, is there any other input as to what was said, either about OPT or school to construction authority, capital plan, any clarity needed, any comments from any of the council members? Okay, hearing none. We're gonna move on to other new business. Do any council members have any concerns or topics of interest or anything that anyone wants to present?
Your
Oh,
hand
go
is
ahead,
up, Councilmember.
Yeah,
Oh,
hand
go
is
ahead.
for you guys, my app
Councilmember
is
Spencer.
old, so that's why I don't have a hand feature. I gotta use the new. Anyway, thank you, co-presidents. Just wanted to refresh my memory, because it's been a crazy couple of weeks. I believe the Disability Pride Parade is the first weekend in October. Are we having any representation? Did you hear anything from? I didn't get a chance to ask that on Monday. I was gonna ask that on Monday when we had the meeting with Kettler. Um, and that's why I started that comment the way it was. But okay. Treasurer Angel says she could speak to it.
I'm off of mute. We did have an email sent over to us where it says that the Disability Pride Parade is going to be on October 2nd, and that we can register for it if we do want to be in the parade, we can do that. But if we do want to be a vendor, there is a cost. I can look into seeing if that can be waived. I'm not sure, but it would take a commitment from the council to say if we do want to be there, how we want to be there. Do we want to be in the parade or do we want to be as vendors? So that would be something that we would need to vote on, and we would need to register by, let's see, we need to register pretty quickly because it's on October 2nd.
Yeah, thanks, Treasurer Angel, because we marched under the district when it was pre-pandemic. So we didn't have to, and it was like the first thing because it happened in July 2019. So we were fresh, new council. We didn't have, all we had to do was just show up. So that's why that's why I was asking for some guidance. And I mean, we're in a better place than we were back then. And if the district is going to be there, do we get an invite? Like, you know what I'm saying?
We have been invited as our council to show
Right.
up. If we want to work with the district, I mean, I don't think it's any issues to show up, as a full district and support with them, with the council as well. But I guess we would just need to figure out what that would look like. If we want to do it alone, or if we want to forward the information to the district and say, hey, let's group together and make it happen. I guess it depends on what the council members think. I'm open to showing up and marching and doing all of that kind of stuff. I'm not sure about how the vendors go, but we're here, so I guess we can put it up for discussion. Or
I'd like to put a motion, co-presidents, that this council seeks to collaborate with District 75 management, so we can march in a Disability Pride Parade under their banner on October 2nd. I'd like to put that motion up.
I second the motion.
Okay, it was moved by Councilmember Spencer and seconded by Councilmember Lawrence. Give us a couple of seconds, and we'll take a roll call vote. Just as an FYI, I was on the council when they first started. Actually, when the parade first started, I was a council member, and at that time we did march under one banner along with the district. Most time we've been under one banner. However, we've also marched in the parade that Autism Speaks does. It's not even a parade. The event, the walk event that they do, and in that we had our own banner. At that time, I guess we had a banner. So at that time, we used to walk under our own banner as a council and stuff. And we used to invite the parents from President's Council to join us, and just D75 parents in general. Any of the schools could walk under our banner as D7.
Yeah,
So it might be worth it to, at some point, get another banner for the council itself, and have, so that parents, are comfortable and feel like they can, have a place to be in.
I want to vote on this motion and then
Join us.
I'll motion for that.
Mhm.
Thank you, Co-President Green.
You're welcome. Yes, yes. All right, at this time, we're gonna go to a roll call. Yeah, I think it was to second the motion, but Mr. Lawrence, you have your hand up for something else?
Yeah, it's for something else, but I second the motion, yeah.
Do you want to go ahead with something else before we do the motion, or no?
No, we gotta finish the motion. We in the middle of
Okay.
it. Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, Miss Angel. I'm sorry.
Okay,
You
yes,
stated.
I'm going to read it. Okay, so we are voting on the motion for the Citywide Council for District 75 to collaborate with the district to march under their banner for the Disability Pride Parade on October 2nd. Miss Amy Mengsai,
Yes.
Mr. Craig Spencer,
Yes.
Mr. Shamel Lawrence,
Yes.
Miss Christy Angel, Miss Christy Montavon, yes. Mr. Angel Morales,
Yes.
Miss Joanne Jones,
Yes.
Miss Aisha Husbands,
Yes.
Miss Celia Green,
Yes.
Miss Constance Cedu,
Yes.
and Miss Patricia Jewett.
She put yes in the chat.
She can speak.
Okay, we have 11 votes for yes, and the motion has passed.
Thank you, council members. I'm gonna go to Mr. Lawrence and then I'll come back to you, Mr. Spencer. Mr. Lawrence, go ahead with what you wanted to say.
Yeah, this is new business. So I just want to know, what's the council stand on the budget? As we know, there's a whole thing going on with the budget. The mayor is going to court. I have seen a couple other council write up resolution. We represent District 75, which is a severe population, and we know our district will be affected. Have there been any data from Ketla around this? What are we doing to speak up and advocate for that money to be returned back into the city council? Are there any works that we doing on that as a council?
You mean to be put back into?
Well, as you know, the mayor had
The
opposed to take 40.
overall DOE school budget is what you're saying.
Yeah. From the school budget, but city council reversed their motion and they told him he got to put it back. He's actually going to court to fight it. So I just want to know, have our council had any conversation? What are we doing? What are we? I would stand on that because we know
Okay,
that.
so since we haven't had the conversation, I think you're proposing it now. So go ahead. Let's see if anyone else has input. Do any of the council members have any input on what Councilmember Lawrence is saying? I know I agree with Councilmember. And we really need the money, and all schools need the money. And this one good thing out of COVID, if anything good came out of COVID, is that all schools for this prior school year were funded at 100%. And that was the first time in like the history of time. So I do agree with Mr. Lawrence. We don't need to have the things the students and staff need in order to in order for our education. So does anyone else have any input? Any other council members?
Is that a motion?
It's not a motion, but it's a topic, and he may be doing a motion, but he wants to find out if anyone has indeed had conversations around the budget issue. And there are a lot of, he is right, there are a lot of parent advocacy groups that are having those conversations. So he wants to know where we stand on it.
I have a comment. If I may, Co-President
Yes,
Green.
please do.
I concur with Mr. Lawrence, and that's why I had asked when we adopted the agenda to have a relationship, collaboration with the controller in terms of accountability, because the way the budget mess happened this past spring, and it's still, it needs to be an ongoing conversation. I'm in favor of that.
Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. Does any other council member have comments or inquiry? Go ahead, Councilmember CG.
Okay, can everyone hear me? Yeah, I just wanted to, I just want to be sure, did Councilmember Lawrence mention a resolution, and whether or not we're signing up to one? Because I know there are some resolutions out there on this budget.
No,
I just wanted to ask him if he could make that clear for me.
No. I asked, what is our council
Cannot
stand?
hear him.
Have we been doing any work around? That's what I asked on. But I do think if we haven't, I do think that maybe our council need to create a resolution on this, because it is a serious matter. So my question was there any work or conversation happening with the council already about this with our council?
No, I know there's some resolutions.
I can't hear you. You went low.
I know there are resolutions out there on the budget issue. And, okay, so I just wanted to ask whether or not you were asking for that information, as well as us having a discussion for a resolution from the council. That's all. Thank you. Yeah, what he said.
Thank you, Councilmember Asidu. Councilmember Lawrence, are you proposing that we do a resolution and or a letter in support of restoring the funding that should be coming to the schools and against the cuts?
Yes, absolutely. So I go ahead and make that motion then. So I move.
So do you want to make?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it now. Yep.
Now?
Yep, I make it. So I, Councilmember Lawrence, move that Citywide Council for D75 write a letter in support of the money being returned, no budget cuts to our New York City public school.
Okay, can I get a second from a council member?
I second that motion, Co-President Green.
Thank you. So it has been properly moved by Councilmember Lawrence and properly seconded by Councilmember Spencer. And if you give us a couple of seconds, because we have to write out the motions, we were going to have a roll call.
We are voting on the motion for Citywide Council for District 75 to write a letter in support of no budget cuts and that funding be restored to our public schools. Miss Amy Ming Tsai,
Yes.
Mr. Craig Spencer,
Yes.
Mr. Shamel Lawrence,
Yes.
Miss Christy Angel,
Yes.
Miss Christy Montalban, yes, Mr. Angel Morales,
Yes.
Miss Joanne Jones,
Yes.
Ms. Aisha Husbands. Okay, Miss Celia
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Ms. Constance Acevedo,
Yes.
and Miss Patricia Jewett. Ms. Aisha Husbands,
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear Pat's vote. Did she answer?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I have your vote, Aisha. I'm just checking to see if I got Pat's vote.
She's
Okay.
not, I don't see her.
She's not on. Okay. Okay, no problem. Okay, so I have 10 votes for yes. The motion has passed.
Councilmember Lawrence, would you like some help on that? Because I'm willing to help
Yeah.
you with that.
Yeah.
I got a letter to let you know on that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah. And I will ask that Miss Angel also be part of it. I would like for her to be part of it too. If she's okay with that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Constance, you
Yes.
have your hand up.
So. From before.
Okay. All right, are there any other proposals?
Correct.
Just,
Go ahead, Craig.
yeah, President Green, since you opened the door, thank you. Can I get a motion for, or can I get a motion? Excuse me. I'd like to motion properly. If the council could, I request Treasurer Angel to look into getting a banner that's affordable for our council, for us to use at public events. And, something that's, it's adaptable for our budget. It's not going to blow us out of the water. Since we're not exactly sure what the old one was, or we deserve it. So, all right. So let me be clear. My motion is for research to be done to get the council a banner that's to use for public events that's not too expensive. That's my motion.
I Councilmember Lawrence, second that. Can I add something to your motion, Mr. Spencer?
Ms. Lawrence, go ahead, speak.
Yeah. I said I second. Can I add something to his motion?
Mr. Spencer.
Okay.
Your motion.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I will add that we put designs on it that represent the population that we serve. So like wheelchair, different things that represent kids that's in our community, if possible.
So to add a design.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you put 5 more minutes on the clock for that, please? Councilmember Angel.
I don't have a problem amending my motion to that. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence.
All right, so I second.
Okay, so can you restate the motion so that we can get it to do the roll call vote?
My motion is for the council to find an affordable banner that we can use for public events to promote ourselves that includes some appropriate artwork that portrays our community and our kids in a positive light.
I second that motion.
And then it's just a matter of design of what we're gonna add.
Ms. Amy Mency?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Craig
Lisa
Spencer?
Hannison,
Yes.
I 2020. I
Mr. Shamel Lawrence?
Yes.
Ms. Christy Angel? Ms. Christy Montavon? Yes. Mr. Angel Morales?
Yes.
Ms. Joanne Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Aisha Husband? Aisha? Okay. Ms. Celia Green?
yes.
Ms. Constance Seavey?
Yes.
Ms. Patricia Stewart, is she back?
No,
I don't.
no, she's not on.
No. Okay, and Aisha, are you back? No, okay. So we have 9 votes for yes, and the motion has passed.
Okay, with that being said, is there anything else anyone else would like to introduce at this time? There's only one other thing I wanted to mention. We are trying to have in the calendar meeting for September, we are asking that Ms. Handler come and give us a sort of a mini class on capital plan and the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts and so on. So we're looking forward to that at our September calendar meeting, and as well as hopefully having maybe one of the special meetings that we will have is an informative session, a complete informative session with Ms. Chandler, that we can, when we start doing the submissions, we have everything in order for capital plan. Is there anyone else that has anything else they'd like to mention? Any other council member?
Councilmember Spencer, 2 minutes.
Now, phone Mike and Craig, goodness gracious. I just want to implore the co-president.
We're not hearing you, Craig. You gotta unmute yourself. You're muted. We're not hearing you, Craig.
Oh, it's been a long day. Yeah, as January gets closer, as the election season gets closer, I just want to implore the co-presidents to keep in contact with Diana Iqbal and Powell. I forget Powell's last name, just to in reference to the what the status is in terms of D75 parents and on CECs, that we don't lose, that we keep our eyes on our prize. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. Councilmember Lawrence, do you have your hand up?
Oh, yeah, I would just say President Council will be meeting tomorrow, hybrid. It will be hybrid. So please support that. And then also I just realized that on the 10th of October, there's 2 other one that you talked about, autism is having a walk that day at the South Seaport, and so is epilepsy. So they have all 3 walks that are very close to our community. So I just realized that and saw when I put in walk, they all popped up. So just for everybody information. So it's the
All right, so you
autism
said
walk.
Autism Speaks is having a day?
Yeah, Autism Speak is October the 10th, the same day as the disability, and so is the epilepsy walk. They all on the same day. Autism and epilepsy is at the South Seaport.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. We have, as a council, what? Okay, give us 5 more minutes. we have the council, as a council have walked, prior to this, and the Autism Speaks walk. But Autism Speaks used to hold the walk-in actually, I think in May or June or something like that. So with everyone changing their schedule, it's hard to be at everything. All right. Our next meeting is, can we go over the locations?
Yeah,
Our next meeting will be our calendar meeting on September
28th.
28th.
It will be at 6:30 to 9. And
And
it will be in person at
at
3 Courthouse, 52nd
Second
Chamber Street in
Manhattan. Did you want to move in other dates or
do we want to go over the other dates or
Let's do October. No, just waiting if anything changes.
and I believe it is,
Dates for October,
yes.
October 14th, I believe.
Oh, my bad. October
October
12th
12th
for business, October 26th for calendar.
Okay, Wednesday,
Okay,
October
Wednesday,
12th.
October.
9.
Also,
Also,
the
the
location
location is
person, 3 Courthouse, 2nd Chamber Street, Manhattan. And then our October 26th meeting will be on Wednesday at 6:30 to 9, and that will be at a location in Staten Island. We are scheduling a permit for that location to be in person. Currently,
So we will update the council and the community as
so
to
we will update the council
that
and the
address.
community as to
And that will be
most likely at the
most
Randall
likely at the
School, which
Randall
is right
School,
off of
which is right off
by the
of
Staten Island
by
Ferry.
the Staten Island Ferry.
Yeah,
It's not far.
About 7.
short bus.
Short bus ride.
So that
So
will be
that
our
will be our
meetings.
meetings.
The next 3 meetings
We will follow
from
up
September to October.
our
And we'll
flyers
follow up
so
with
that people
our flyers to make
are
sure
communicated
that with our attendance for those meetings.
Co-President Green.
All right, at this time, is there anything else that any other council would like to discuss?
Constant got a hand.
Would like to discuss or bring up? Now's the time. Okay, Council, you have your hand up? Council, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I'm sorry, the Staten Island location, I didn't hear it, so just like that repeated for the calendar meeting on the 26th of October.
The calendar meeting for October 26th will be at Staten Island at 373R. I believe it's the
370.
the Randall School.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Good here, still can't.
No problem. I think we do also want to just add whatever items that council members want to add to the next business meeting or our calendar meeting for September 28th.
Okay, are there any items that we will add for our?
Yeah, on extra calendar or business.
For the calendar and or the next, for the next calendar and or business meetings. Go ahead, Mr. Spencer, Councilmember Spencer, go ahead.
Just an update on the town hall. I mean, we got 2 meetings before that, but we definitely need to, we definitely need some sort of for both agendas for the 28th and the October 12th. Update.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything else they would like to add?
Yeah, are we gonna work on the agenda tonight for the calendar meeting next month, or did that already happen?
No, that's what Mr. Spencer was talking about. So if you have something you want to add for the agenda, please do so now.
Yeah, okay, I didn't hear him because it's hard to hear you guys.
Go ahead, Mr. Lawrence, if you have something to add.
No, just an update on, I guess, on on the town hall with the chancellor, finalize that, and then finalize the date for those two, special meetings with OPT and, SCA.
Okay,
Get an update.
all right. Thank you, Councilmember Lawrence, and thank you, Councilmember Angel, for keeping us to time. All right, any other council member have any other issue, concern, comments that they wish to?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
So I got contacted today by,
Greg, you went out again, man. Can't hear you. Not hearing you, Greg.
Oh my goodness. I got contacted this afternoon from Camille Casaretti from CEC 15 regarding a district planning type of meeting that she may have next week. Constance, I didn't get a chance to text you. So I'm gonna loop you in, Constance, and then hopefully I'll get a chance to report on that on the 28th. Yeah.
Does anyone else have anything else? Last call.
I do.
Go ahead, Mrs. Cynthia.
I just wanted to
Go
ask,
ahead.
is the comptroller going to be be the guest at our meeting in October? The calendar meeting or the business? Because that was stated.
Do you want to answer that?
Apologies, can you repeat that, please?
Is the controller going to be a guest at our meeting? I believe she said October.
Yes, they have asked us to put on the agenda for October the 12th, which will be our business meeting.
Okay. The 12th is where they're coming? I just wanted to be sure of that. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, again, last call for any other issues or concerns. That burning issues or concerns that anyone would like to discuss or see placed on this agenda or upcoming agendas. Like, please note that Councilmember Jewett has joined us in person. So, Councilmember Jewett, is there anything you'd like to add to the agendas going forward to the next agenda?
No, just that we are able to update all the committee.
Okay. That we can do.
And then we'll have to do the hiring committee.
Oh, yeah, hopefully by then we will. All right, anyone else? Council members going once, going twice? Hearing no more. I am gonna ask, because we've basically come to the end of our agenda. And in time, record time. So I am gonna ask, is there a motion to adjourn by any of the council members?
I Councilmember Lawrence moves that we adjourn this meeting.
Thank you, Councilmember Lawrence. Councilmember Lawrence.
Second.
Who is seconding the Councilmember Lawrence? And it's seconded by Ms. Constance Acegio. Is there any objection or abstention from this? Hearing no objections and hearing no abstentions, we are officially closing this meeting in a timely fashion at 8:51 p.m. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you at our next meeting on September the 28th. It's a calendar meeting.
So people will be able to, there's always public comment in our calendar. However,
it's always public comment. There's always public comment for the calendar. All right, so thank you. Get home safe, and we will look forward to seeing you again. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good evening, Ms. Daniels.
Good night.
Recording.
thank you for presenting.